Nice having you here, and welcome to the second part of this particular video. In the first part, we have actually gotten our data, and the data we are using for this particular dashboard is the data we have actually downloaded from our YouTube channel, Data with Decision. I'm going to show you how to actually create this particular dashboard you have right on your screen. So in case you want to look at how we got the data transformed, you might want to actually watch the first part of this video, and that will definitely help you to understand how to get data from YouTube and how to actually have it transformed and create something as beautiful as what you have on your screen right now. So let's get into the class. All right, it is time for we to write our first DAX. And what we can do now is just to make sure we create a different table where we're going to actually store all the DAX we're going to be writing inside. So let's go over to this particular modeling here and add a new table. Can you see it right now? New table. So with this new table here, I'm just going to name this one to DAX house. So inside curly bracket here, we just need to put in just this and hit the enter key. So this will create a blank table for you, right? With your blank table, you can actually store in any measures at all inside here. Okay, so we're going to be starting with this particular, video posted, data here, which is, let's come over here. So under video posted here, if you look at it right now, we have the videos, we have video types, and we have the date, which we have actually used for our connections. And if you come down to here, you can see we have, lost subscribers and gained one. And we have the share, we have the comment, like and dislike, and we have views. So majorly, we're going to be basing this particular DAX we're going to be writing now under the numbers of views we've had over time, total watch hour, subscribers, and we create a measure for impression, right, which is total impression, and click-through rate. So this our CTR here is not what we're going to use. We're going to create our own CTR. So we ought to have removed this one previously before now. So let us see how we can actually do all of that. So those are very simple measure for the first time before we go into a little bit complicated one. So right click and go ahead and add a new measure. So when doing this, your total views should be under video posted because there are total views in other, our table. So we're going to base it on the videos posted. That is why you have to make sure you name your table the way I named mine. It will be very easy for you to track what I'm doing right here. So let's go over here, click on this. So make sure you format this using comma separator in case you have it run into thousands. So it will actually be very nicely formatted. So total impression should be calculated over the videos posted here as well. So make sure your total views is coming from the videos posted. Oh, sorry, we have gotten total views already. This should be total subscribers. So we change this one to subscribers. We want to count how many videos we have actually posted over time, so we can do total videos posted, and we're going to use what I call count rows. So with our count rows now, we're counting the video posted table to count how many rows we have inside there. This will give us how many videos we've posted over time. So let us calculate the click-through rate, which is CTR here. And I'm going to tell you what it is. Let us do it first. So just divide the, I think it's going to be total views here. So we do that by the total impression that we have. Okay, we have this. To explain better now, I'm going to bring my CTR into here. So I want to convert it into a percentage. So make sure the measure is being clicked on. Let's go over to a percentage number formatting. Let me bring my total views in here. It's 4 million. Then let us bring in the total impression in here right now. It's 56 million. Now we have those three measures here, which is views, impression, and click-through rate. What is their relationships? So when we talk about the CTR here, which is click-through rate, we're talking about the percentage of people who click on a video after seeing the thumbnail, right? So let's say you have a video on YouTube. Every single time somebody comes up to YouTube, YouTube will actually say, can you see this particular video? If this person did not click, it will be counted as what? As an impression. So whenever the person clicks, it will be counted as click-through rate. It will be added to click-through rate and it will be added to view, right? And that is why you see that I have 56 million views, impressions, and we have just 4 million, views from this impression, and the click-through rate is actually 7.9. You get it right now. So what does this mean? It's just like if your video is shown to 1,000, people, so that means you are going to have 1,000 impressions. That does not mean that those 1,000 people have actually watched your video. What you have is 1,000 impressions. It says to you that, this video is actually going viral, but unfortunately people are not clicking, which means if you have, less click, right? So if 100 persons clicked on this particular video right now, what will happen? You're going to divide 100 by 1,000, and that will give you 10%, which means 10% of people that YouTube shown this particular video to actually clicked on it. So to some persons, this might be good, while to some persons, depends on the kind of channel, this might be bad. This is what you need to understand about, click-through rate, impression, and total view. So we are now going to see how this KPI can actually help us to improve our channel. So that is what we're going to see next. All right, before we proceed to write our next line of DAX, so we want to look at what we have right here. So over here, we have the video posted, the numbers of views you've had on those videos, and how many subscribers, we've had over time. And as well, we're going to be using the CTR and the impression as well to do what we're about to do right now. Those are just numbers. We don't know if they are good or bad, if my channel is doing well or not. Remember, this is my personal channel, right? So I want to actually make sure this gives me some kind of insight that will make me to actually, create more educational content for the viewers. Let's find out what we're going to actually do to make these particular numbers to show much more, insight than just numbers. So what we're going to do is for we to actually create a card right here. So inside this particular card is 315 total numbers of video posted. So this actually happens without any filter, right? There is no filter on this. And if there is no filter on this, that means we are showing the whole of the total videos posted. So we're going to actually have a dynamic title here. Listen to that again, a dynamic title, which means this particular title inside this particular box will change over time. Depends on the filter being placed on it, specifically from the ear slicer. So if there is no filter, it will show us all videos posted, right? If, for example, there is a filter 2022, now this number here will change. Maybe this number changed to 19 videos, right? So the title here automatically will change, and the title is not going to give us all again. It's going to be video posted in 2022. Can you see this now? Then we have a KPI card that is going to actually be right here. And what we want to show inside this particular KPI card should actually be the previous year data. If we are looking at 2022 right now, we should be looking at 2021, which is the previous year. And over here, we're going to be having the numbers of videos in 2021. Maybe it's actually 30, right? Which means it's beyond the current video we've posted in 2022. Then over here, we're going to see 30. So when we have the 30 here, 30 videos here, so we want to actually have, the percentage decrease or increase inside the brackets, maybe 3% decrease or whatsoever it is. So inside here and versus, then when we do this now, we're going to show the year we are comparing this particular 2022 with, which is 2021. So this will give us much more insight than having just a number. So this is just theoretical aspect of it. Let us put this in practice and start writing DAX to do this just for us. If you want to learn more from me, this particular course will definitely help you to write DAX and answer business questions, create better reports, and bring better insight into your dashboard. So if that is what you want, please check out this course and see what content we have inside it that could actually help your journey as a data analyst. So keep watching. All right, now let us start with this particular total video posted. Let us start with the total video posted right here, and we have a measure for it. So what we're going to do right now is just for we to actually create a folder for this particular measure alone, because we're going to put every single, measures right here in their individual folder, right? We have other measures to write about them. Then go over to this particular model view here. Now you have to bring up the measure we want to use, this one here. So we go down until we see display folder here, and we just say videos posted measures, right? So now we have stored that inside a measure. All right, inside our new folder here, the first measure we are going to create is to actually look at what is the previous year's, total numbers of video posted. To make it some kind of, understandable, let's go over here and bring in the year. So we have this. We're going to actually turn this into a slicer like this. So we need to change what we see here. Let's do this to be on a tile. Beautiful, right? Okay. So if you look at it right now, we have blank here. So this blank maybe is as a result of having a particular video posted and YouTube did not actually recorded the date. So this is my own personal data. I don't have an interest in any of the blanks. So what I need to do right now is to go over here under filter, click on this particular part here, and here we go. So you have advanced filtering. So go down here and click over the basic one, then select everything and deselect this particular blank because there is no data for it, right? Okay, if this has to do with someone else's data, maybe your office data or a client data, what you need to do is to make sure you investigate and see what the blank is all about and actually try to communicate with the owner of the data to know if you are to remove the blank or let it be, right? Sometimes you will have a blank or some couple of blanks that will not be across all the columns. So that is very important. Okay, we have this over here right now. If I select 2020, for example, so what we want to see next right now is going to be the data or the video posted in 2019. So to get that done, the drill is something very simple. Let's come over here. Make sure you're inside your folder, right click and new measure. Inside our new measure here, I want to create previous year video posted. Then I'm going to do equals. So with the equals right now, what we need to use is just divide function, the calculate function rather, the calculate function. So with the calculate function, we want to change the filter context of the total video posted. So we have several ways to get this done. Date add, previous year, period last year, and all of that. So I'm going to use the date add to get this done. So with the date add, I can bring in the date from my calendar table. So on my date table here, then with a comma, I'm going to offset by 1. So go back 1 year back, 1 year back rather. So we put a comma here, and the interval should be minus, sorry, the interval should be the year, not minus. So over here, we close for the date, add, shift, enter to go into the next line. And now you can close this, hit the enter key. So this will give you the total numbers of videos posted in 2019. So I'm going to bring this inside a card. Now we can see we just have 8 videos posted in 2019. So now the next thing we want to do is to actually create a dynamic title for this particular one right here. So what can we do to get this particular kind of dynamic title created? We want to know which particular year this video is actually showing at. Although from selection we can say it, but not everyone will understand it. You have to make your KPI card to be some kind of self-explanatory, and you don't want the person to spend hours and hours to try to think of what is going on right here. So to get that done right now, we're going to write a measure. So new measure here. So I'm going to say title. So with this particular title here, if I do my equals, I want to actually leave a comment here. So just 2 dashes will make you to have a comment that will not actually reflect on your main measure. So then whoever actually visited the back end will understand what is going on here. Okay, now I am just going to use selected value, for example, to show you what it does. Selected value, I am going to bring in the year. So if I close and hit my enter key right now, so let's see what this measure will give to us. So I can bring this inside a card, but I want to click here and use this over here. So let's go over to this particular part. So if I click over here now, there is no way I can actually, bring it in here. So which means we cannot use category label. We can turn the category label off and go over to title. So with the title on, click over to this particular part and you go over to the field value, don't change it. Okay. Over here, we go to DAX and, DAX house. From DAX house, we go to this particular folder and bring in the title. So right now, the title does not give us anything. So what the heck is wrong with that? So let us put the title inside here. So if you look at it, the title is giving us, 2020 that we have selected from the slicer. So, but because this is a number, it's not a text yet. So this particular, title part does not want to take it. So we know what it is. We are not going to show 2020 alone. We have to show it alongside with other text, right? So to do that now, let's come over here now. So we're going to do here inside double quotes, videos posted in, then space and close this and ampersand here. So we can now hit our enter key. So let's see what we're going to have. So we're going to actually go over, I don't need to put my energy on this formatting here. So now we can come over here. So we select this. Now let's say title, make a search, and we choose this. Now it allows us, can you see now? So if I click on this now, we're going to have here videos posted in 2020. So watch what happens when I select this. So this will give me videos posted in 2021, and now it's giving us 2020 value. If I select this one right now, then this one here is going to give us blank, while this one gives us value, right? So it's making sense, right? Beautiful. Let us get this one off. Okay. What we want to get right now is the previous year To get the previous year now, you have to come over to this particular part here and insert in your measure. So we're going to type in previous year. So for we to get the previous year now, what I'm going to do is to actually use a variable to start something here. I'm going to store in underscore. Let it be just same previous year, right? So we're going to say equals selected value here. So we do the year, then we close. So if I come down here now, I'm going to do return. Then we're going to return this, and we want to actually ask if underscore previous year is not blank, then we want to do something. So what we want to do is to actually use the max function. Then with the max function, we want to actually take the year, date here, and close -1. Then go ahead and close for the if. So if I hit my enter key, this should be able to retrieve the previous year for me, but there will be issue right here. Let's see. Please pay attention, it's very important. So if I bring this into a card, this will retrieve something for me. It will retrieve 2018 for me. But unfortunately, we do not have data up to 2018. So the channel was actually started in 2019. This should be the max, the minimum, the starting point, right? The starting point and the minimum date we have inside our date table. So where is this particular one coming from? So what is actually giving us this, and how can we control this to tell, the machine that, what, we don't have data in 2018. So what we need to do is to go back to this measure here, instead of us to ask if this is not blank. So the reason why we are having 2018 was because we took the max date. So the max date is not going to be, let me show you something here. If you look at it right now, over here, if you were asked which one is the max date now, your max date is this one. This is your max date. But this is not max date currently, because this is not on selection. What is on selection is the max date. This is what we selected currently, 2019. Is your max date. So that is what the measure is doing. So it's taking whatever is selected is now the max date. What is not selected is going to be ignored and subtract 1 from it. So we don't want to return 2018. We want to return 0 because there is no 2018 data. So we go over to this particular part right now, and we're going to ask if it is equals to 2019, which is the last, the first year we started the channel, right? Then if that is the case, give us 0. Otherwise, go ahead and run all of those particular, code right here. So you get it right now. So if I hit my enter key, I should be able to have 0. Please remember this, because we are going to use this, in our next measure. It's very simple. Okay. Now let us watch if I select 2020 here. So this one now returns 2019, 2021, 2020, 2022, 21, 24, 23. You get it? This is exactly what you need to create. So once we have done this, there is no need for we to create this separately, but just for me to explain to you how it works, I just have to do this, right? So we're going to actually create a new measure. Leave this one alone, right click, and go over here and create a new measure. This time around, you're going to actually call this particular measure year over year change. So you can put percentage here. So I'll just year over year change. All right. The very first thing we need to do is to write something similar to what we have written before, but more of that. So I am going to write a variable. So this var use underscore here. So I'm going to use the active year. Sorry, the previous year. So which means we ought to have copied this one away from here. It's very simple. To do that now, just go over here, cancel whatever you have there. So we have clicked on this one. I am going to copy this from here. Once copied, Ctrl C and create a new measure inside here. Let us paste this one here because there is no title, so it's going to give us an error. So over here is going to be year-over-year change equals. All right, so we have this now. So this one does not have return. We are just going to leave it like this. Then once we've done this, I want to make sure I select everything and your tab key to indent it like this. So the next line of code right now is for we to actually, store inside a variable here. What's going on? Have we not done? Okay, we don't have to return this. Remove the return. And this one should be stored inside, a variable itself. So let me create the variable over here. So a variable. So inside this variable, we're going to call it underscore active previous year, right? So your equals. So you get it right now. So once done now, the next thing is for we to actually come over here and create another variable. And inside this variable, what we're going to store in here is going to be the previous video posted. So we just store in the measure we've created before now. This is it here. So once we are done, we just need to create the changes between the current total video posted and the previous year video posted. So here will be variable again, and this variable will be underscore year-over-year change written together. So equals. So we use the divide function. Inside the divide function, we are going to take the total video posted and subtract it from the previous year video posted. Then divide that by the previous video posted. This will give us our percentage, right? In case you are here and you want to display what this one will give to you, all you have to do is to actually go ahead and just type in return, then you underscore return the year-over-year change here, right? So hit your enter key. Let us bring this in a card. So click on it right now and convert it to a percentage. So can you see what we have? We have 80%. The changes between this 2024 to 2023 is actually 80%. If I go to 2020 here, if you look at it now, we have this 562%. So this is as a result of having the previous year to be lower, extremely lower than the current year on selection right here. So it depends on what we click on. You can see 35% changes is actually between the 2 years, right? But unfortunately, this is not what we want alone. So before we do any other thing, let us look at it. What happens if I select 2019? This gives me blank. So is this what we want? No, don't worry. We're going to fix this. Let us quickly go over to here. And now we start from here again. We take off everything from here. So another variable here, we'll do underscore result for us. So underscore result now, we're going to say if underscore year over year change, the last variable we created, is actually greater than 0. So what we want is to actually make sure we have a positive percentage. So normally when a percentage is positive, it's just going to give you 3%, 10%, 20%, 100%, whatsoever. So in our own case, we want to have plus 10%. So as default, negative always has minus 10%. So we want to do that over here. So what I'll do now is to put a comma here. If the result is true, inside double quotes, put a plus on it and close, then ampersand before you reference your year over year change percentage. But because we are going to be adding text, or we have already added text on it, the plus is a text, we need to actually make sure we use the format function to format our percentage from here. Underscore the year over year change. Then put up a comma here, and now we want to give it the formatting we want. Inside double quotes, 0.0, percent. If you want two decimal places, you add 2 zeros. It's your choice. Then go ahead and close, then close for your year over year change. Sorry, your format. So once we have done this now, when the result is false, that means it's negative. We just go ahead and use format. So with the format here, we bring in the year over year change, comma, inside double quotes, 0.0%, close, and have the format closed, shift, enter, then we have this particular one closed here. You get it right now. So you might want to see what this will give to us. All we have to do, I love to return my measure one after the other till I get the last result. So return underscore result. So over here now, we have just normal blank. It's not giving us the blank as an error. It's giving us normal blank. That was because we selected 2019. By the time I select 2020 here, let's see what we have. Can you see? 21. Can you see now? Don't worry. I'm going to explain why we have 562.5% to you later, but we have to concentrate on making this work first. Okay. We have gotten this now and it's working fine with the plus. And whenever we have, less than, we have minus 10%. All right. So still, we have not arrived at where we want to get to. Let's do it. So our aim now is to actually concatenate the previous year to this one, right? Which is this year. And already this particular part of our card has already given us that the video posted in 2023. And we want to show this particular percentage changes as of when. Let's go back here. If you scroll down, after this particular bracket here, you can actually give a space, ampersand here, and inside double quotes, just put versus space, close, and under ampersand here, you do underscore previous year, right? So what is this previous year for? Let's quickly go ahead and look at what it is. The previous year is going to be, okay, it's not previous year, it's going to be active previous year. We're going to choose active previous year. So this active previous year, so hit the enter key and see what it is that it's going to give to you. So over here, let's go back and make sure there is some kind of space here as well. So if you look at it right now, it's giving us minus 10% versus 2022, which is this particular previous year we have right here. Now we are seeing the result of 2023, and it's telling us that we are down by 10% in 2022. Is this ringing a bell to you? This is it. But this is not all. If we still select 2019, we are still having a little issue right here. Now we have as a 0 here, which does not make any sense to us. How do we control this? We can go back here now. So we need to add just one single, variable. So we are just going to go down here. Instead of us to actually return this, we are going to actually make sure we, under return, not variable, under the return here, we place a condition on it. And the condition is going to be if underscore here. That is the previous, I think it's going to be the previous year, the active year. If the active previous year is equals to 0, then what we want to have is going to be this: no previous data, right? Otherwise, we want to actually take the total numbers of video posted. We have the measure here. Okay, I think this is not going to be important. Let us remove this particular, variable from here. So instead, I'm going to use the variable sitting outside, the measure rather sitting outside. So otherwise, we do, that is going to be previous, just video posted. That is previous video posted here. Can you see it now? And what we want to do is just, so we not to just show numbers, we want to actually show people that this is actually a video posted. So we actually add here in Concatenator. So inside it, we put a space, now videos, right? So inside open bracket, then we do this, and that ampersand again, we do underscore the result, which is this particular whole result here will be concatenated with this. So once we have done this now, so we have to do under ampersand again, we now do here, we close the bracket. So now we can close our if and hit the enter key. This is simple. All you have to do is to take it slowly and watch it over again in case you make any mistake. This should give us what we want. So now, because we are selecting 2019 and it's blank, because we don't want to display 2018, so we have actually conditioned it to actually give us no previous data, and there was no previous data posted. There was no video posted in 2018, so the channel started in 2019, and we only have 8 videos posted in that particular year as a whole, so there is no previous. Let's select this now. So quickly, it shows up this. If I just make this way right now, so you're going to have 8 videos, and the percentage. If I come to 2021 here, so 53 videos plus 21% versus 2020 here, this is making sense. So let us harmonize them together. I'm going to take this one and this one off from the screen, right? Now we are here. We need to actually get something done right here now. Okay. If you look at it, the way I want to actually create my card is just to make sure I have my title below this particular 70 here. But unfortunately, this is not giving me what I want because I cannot actually bring in title here. So what I need to do is to turn off the title here itself, right? So once I have done this, I'm just going to actually make sure I bring the title in the card format, just like this. Then over here, I control what I see. Let's put it at 10. Now we're going to go with 5. So let's go with 6. Are you telling me that 6 cannot work? Oh, sorry. We're not supposed to be here. Let's turn off this one. So here we go. So let us put this at 10 and see what we have. Too little. 20 here. Now here we're going to go with 20. So with 20 now we can have this over here and quickly go over to here and turn off the background we have right on it. So the background has been turned off. So here we go. We keep this over here right now. So this one here should be taken care of. Quickly, we just have to make sure we have no background on it as well. So we go over to this particular part. Let's do 18 and see what we have under 18. 18 looks cool on this. Let's go over to the category label and turn this off. So over here, we are not done yet. This for now is not making any damn sense. Why did I say that? That was because we just have it on plain black. So we need to use color to make sure we communicate something to the, the consumers, whoever is going to look at this. How do we do this? Then we're going to add under measure here. Okay, quickly, if you look at it, we do not have any measure sitting outside that has to do with the year-over-year change. Where we have the measure written is actually inside here. Let me cancel out this one and show you what I'm talking about. So this is where we have the measure created. So if I collapse this right now, scroll down a little bit, you can now see we have year-over-year change measure inside here. So all I need to do is to copy it. Copy this one. Then we create our new measure now. So we can actually come over here and actually say CR for conditional formatting, video posted. So with the equal sign here. So we're going to paste this one over here. So once pasted now, this is going to give us the year-over-year change. So we are going to go down and return this. Under the return, what we're going to do to it is going to be if the underscore year-over-year change is actually greater than 0, then what we want to actually have is going to be give us 1, or you can use the color code you want to use directly from here. So I'm going to have 1, otherwise give me 0. Then just go ahead and do this. So this will help you to set the conditional formatting. And I believe this is not new to you guys because I have been using this style previously before now. Okay, once we have this, we have to just go away. Then we have this selected. Now we go over to value. We click on FX here. Quickly we choose the rule. Then we go over here and type in CF and choose the CF for video posted. So we come over here and add a new one. Make sure it's equals. This one 2 equals. So over here we're going to put 1 and we step down to put 0 over here. So for where we have 1, we want to have a green color. So select any green of your choice here, maybe a darker version of it or a lighter version of it. So once done, for where you have 0, you want to select this particular red color, and here we go. So because it is good, this is what you have. Check it out when I have something that is actually negative. It's going to be this way, 10% down, and this is what it is that you need to create. So you might be thinking, this small thing you spend this whole time writing it. If you want something good, you just have to spend time formatting it and making it what you really want. So we need this into different places, like 3 more places. We have gotten 1 down. Do we have to do this from the scratch again? No. You can as well recycle through this particular code for other, measure, which is something very simple. So let's see how we can do that. Let us actually create a background here that we're going to use for now to make that place look a bit cleaner. So just remove this away from here and take this off and get this particular card, drag it here, go over to shape format, and let's do, 2.36 by 13.33. Something like this would be cool, and keep it above here, right? So now we need to change the color. So you already know the site I used to use for my colors. So you can go to that site and actually, get any color of your choice, or you can actually use the same color I'm going to use right here today. Just right click and go over to shape format, or format shape rather. So come over here and turn off the line, no line. And over the fill part here, we click and we go to more colors. So we can actually paste in the color code I have here. So if you don't have the PowerPoint that has the hex code, you can use 0 for red, green should be 25, and 76 for blue. Then go ahead and click on OK. So we're going to actually have something like this, right? So once you've gotten this now, pick up a line from here and drag the line to this. So if you start dragging the line now, you can see it's actually not going to give you a straight line. So what you can do is to click on the line you want to actually drop here. So make sure you hold your shift key while making the line to go, horizontally like this. Then release it once you're satiated. So it's going to actually give you a straight line, right? Now let us get the card, drag it down. Then over here, we're going to actually do the dimension by 2 0.84, so something like this. So you can actually do the rounded corner and make it look perfectly okay. So once you're done, we can bring it over here like this here. So now what we want here is actually going to be white. Unfortunately, this, if we take off the line, is going to look this way. So we have to change the background color we have right here. It's very important. We don't want to have it as it was white. So let's change it. So over here, click on custom, and we have to change this to 217 all through the colors, then click on OK. So this color will make this one to pop. So after we have done this now, I'm going to select this one, come over to this particular part right here under effects, and go over to shadow, click over here and use shadow that has the offset to the top. So click on it. So if you check it out right now, this is what you have, and I'm cool with this, right? So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to make sure I duplicate it and keep one here and that one and another one here. Then to make it look okay, just bring this one over here. So make sure this particular white space here has the same size with this one. Once done, hold your control key to select all of them at the same time. Then go to shape format here, align, you actually distribute horizontally. Go to align and you align top. So here we go. We have something like this. So this is the card we want to actually use. So after this right now, this line here, we want to make sure the line is not this color. So let's go with something like this. The next thing now we need to have here is our logo. So I already give you my channel logo. So let's go ahead and pick it up. Insert, and we go to picture, this device. So here you have the one I have actually removed its background. This one has a background on it. So let's go ahead and take off, just take this one. So if we have this here now, the next thing is for we to actually make it a bit smaller. Then we drop it over here like this. So adjust it to fit what you really want. So once you are done and you're cool with this, so the next thing we have to do right now, let me just take this one up a bit. So it's for we to actually use the text box here, drag it down and type in the name of the channel. So here we go. Let us make this one here 36. And over here, I'm going to actually highlight this particular part here and change it to this. Then we'll have something like this. If I bring this here now, it's not showing up very well. So I have to change its color. Let's go over here and change it to this particular color. Can you see it now? So you might want to play around with the color you have right there. If you want to do that, you can come over to this particular text options to play around with the color. Then let's go over to somewhere around the gradient fill. Then you can take off one stop from here. So come over here and change the direction. Let's do something like this. So now this one should be white, normal white. Then you bring up this one here, click over here and choose this color. Choose the same color here. This is what you have. So you can have something like this. So it depends on what you really want. Just for me to just flex around with the, color and all of that. So I have something like this. For the time being, I am going to keep it at this for now. So for the remaining cards, we'll create them later. So once you are done now, we have to go ahead and export. So as PNG. So we use name as background 01. So we can save this and just this one. Okay, now that we are here, let us quickly go ahead and pick it up. Go to this particular canvas here. So let's go ahead and push this one to 0%. There we go. So we have something like this here. So it is time for we to actually make sure this stays in the right position, right? So first of all, we go with this particular one. Then for the color, we want to go with something not too dark. This is okay. So I'm going to take it up a little bit like this. Then what follows is actually this particular one here. This one here goes. So if you look at this now, if I step off it and there is no selection, it's going to tell me video posted in, which means we have to do something right here because we don't have to actually have in when there is no selection, right? So what we are going to do now is to actually go over to this particular measure here. And now it is time for we to change our mind. This is where creating variable comes in. You can use variable to change what you really want. So we are going to actually come over to here and cut this away from here, Ctrl X. So over here, I'm going to create a variable to be called underscore selected here. So equals, we paste this in. So we come over here now and use return. Under return, we're going to use the if function to say if underscore selected here is not blank, right? If it is not blank, then go ahead and actually run this and concatenate the same thing over here. Can you see it now? Otherwise, what I want to show me is going to be all videos posted. So let us see what this one will give to us. I don't know if I'm correct, but I think it should give us all that. All right, this is 100% correct. So all video posted is this. Can you see it now? So on this one, let's click on it and go over to here and then turn off the background here. So for the all video posted here, we want to change the color. So let's go over here to change the color to match this. Then the next thing now is going to be this very one here. So it's going to be here. So this space is very small for this to sit, but we're going to manipulate it. So let us go over here. Let's show it at 16 and see what we have. So 16 looks perfectly okay. So if need be, we can show it at 15. So you can now see when there is enough room. So we're going to have something like this. So all you have to do is to make sure you positioned it very well. So this is how this looks. So it depends on what is being selected from here. You can see what you have. So when there is negative number, it shows this way. And this is exactly what we want. So we want to make sure this one is actually centralized properly. So no selection, it gives us this, right? Okay, now that we have gotten this now, it is time for we to replicate the same thing for other KPIs. So what we need to do is just to highlight it. So once we have done this, we can just go ahead and Ctrl C to copy, but the easiest way is to group them. So now you can Ctrl C, Ctrl V, push this one inside here. So make it fit anyhow you like. So just move this, oh sorry. So once you have done this, make sure what you do is to actually select, everything now like this. Then you do proper alignment. So go over to formats. From format, click on align and distribute, align top. So I think it's align top you need to do. Then you can manually come over here to make sure this one is positioned at the right spot. Make sure you aim the edge because they are on group. Aim the edge to make sure everything is selected. And once done, you can actually shift it and make sure you centralize it inside your card, right? You do this manually. So once you click on it, you can just push it right here. So we have gotten everything at the right spot right now. So what we need right now is to make sure over here we're showing impression, inside here we're showing view, and over here this is wrong. You know why? This is going to be a different thing entirely. So what do? We just have to make sure we take off this one. We do not need to keep this one over here. It's something different. Let's just focus on this 1, 2, 3, and other one that will be here.